Have you ever wondered how people can lose weight fast without feeling hungry all the time? Well, actually, it's a lot simpler than you may think. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing the effective fat loss system that's going to get you dropping pounds of body fat within the first week. The exact method to drop 7 kilos in the next 6 weeks without jabs, fad diets, or shakes. And also the mindset to adopt that's going to serve you long term after you finish the diet. We don't want to leave you hanging and feeling lost and confused. This plan is for the long term. It'll be the last diet you ever need. Make sure you subscribe to my channel to see more videos and get more help along the way. And if you're interested in jumping on our one-to-one coaching program, I would love to help you reach your fat loss goals. Click the link in the description box below. Let us help you get to your target weight, change your mindset, and ultimately become the best version of yourself that's currently being held back. I know there's so much information out there on weight loss, so many methods, so many voices. I get it. It's overwhelming. But if you implement some of the things I'm going to talk about in this video, it will change the way you see fat loss forever. I know this because I've used these exact methods myself to lose about 66 pounds or 30 kilos, depending on which metric you like to use. It all started when I was given the IVF ultimatum. Back in 2018, I was told I wouldn't be able to get pregnant naturally due to having blocked fallopian tubes. I didn't find that out straight away. That came further down the line, but there are plenty of videos on that if you want to go and watch it. At the time, I needed to lose about 35 pounds to be eligible for the treatment, as a lot of clinics have a BMI limit they like to work within. I managed to lose 35 pounds within a relatively short space of time using these methods. I'd been so lost and confused for years. My entire life, in fact. Over those years, I'd probably tried literally anything that would make weight loss easier. I was willing to try it, and I feel like I did go through a period of time of trying pretty much everything. I was also diagnosed with PCOS back in 2018, and it made me kind of feel like there was a reason as to why things were not happening for me. I just was looking for a reason as to why things may have been more difficult for me. Once I had the education and the motivation, there was no stopping me. By the time it came round to have my frozen embryo transfer in July 2020, I'd lost 56 pounds. My IVF round was lengthy, but it was successful on the first transfer. I was very lucky. Throughout pregnancy and breastfeeding, I gained a lot of the weight back. I think this will ring true to a lot of women who gain weight through pregnancy, especially going through breastfeeding. You don't realise what that takes and how hungry it makes you. Nothing can quite set you up for that before it actually happens. Losing weight the second time around after that pregnancy was more difficult. Sleep was bad, cravings were higher, we was grabbing convenience food, time wasn't my own. But when the time was right, I knuckled down and made it work. It didn't happen instantly. There was no immediate bounce back. I'd set myself a target of being fit for 30, and by the time I turned 30 in November 2022, Jack's, our first son, was around 20 months old at the time. I was back at my lowest weight. I'd been going to CrossFit for about 9 months, and I was feeling fitter and stronger than ever. In early 2023, I found out I was pregnant naturally. I was told I was never going to be able to get pregnant naturally, so this was just an absolute miracle. I was quite adamant on trying not to gain the weight back this time round, but easier said than done. You know, pregnancy and sleep and having a toddler and everything else just gets in the way. The weight did creep back on, not as high as it had done previously, but throughout that period of time and through becoming a mum of 2, the sleepless nights again, lack of training again, lack of routine again, it did take a minute to get back into it. I thought it was going to be easier this time around. The third time, it felt like, I know what I'm doing now, I should be absolutely fine. But obviously the circumstances had changed. By the time Remy, our second son, was 1, I was back beyond my lowest weight. I'd hit 66 pounds down in total from my biggest weight, and I was fitter, stronger, and leaner than I'd ever been. The most important thing throughout all these journeys, and particularly that last one, I healed my relationship with the scale weight. And I know I've spoke a lot here about what weights I've lost, etc., but it's just a really good metric for a lot of people to understand what that means and what that looks like, and what, you know, we all have a metric of what we weigh, what something weighs, what we want to be. So I talk about it that way. But when the scale fluctuates now for me during this process and this learning, I am so unbothered. I feel no way about scale fluctuations, because this is something we coach so heavily on and something we're so passionate about in our coaching and in our program, that we help people get over the fear of gaining a little bit of weight. I understand with the PCOS that food and carbs are not the enemy. How to efficiently fuel for performance and for my sport, and the mindset and habit changes to keep the weight off long term. This is the first time in my life where I have lost weight and kept it off for a sustained period of time, and it has just been completely life-changing. We have spent the last year helping women transform their lives, bodies and mindsets. Not only to lose body fat, but to learn how to live and thrive at their new lower weight. Me and my husband Mark, we are OPE, that's our business, and we coach our clients together. Have spent the last 2 years retraining and diving into the research of aggressive dieting, learning from leaders in the industry, and taking that knowledge on to help women lose 8 to 15 kilos plus. So what we're sharing with you is not only backed by science, it's backed by real world results too. I wanted to share with you the driving factor that started our journey to finding the most effective fat loss system that's going to get you dropping pounds of body fat within the first week. Like I mentioned earlier, my phases of fat loss that got me life-changing results to not only lose 66 pounds, it's enabled me to do so much to become healthier for my boys and to become more confident in my body. Our fat loss framework focuses on calorie intake, your protein intake, fibre intake, and your body weight. We focus on the calories because we want to be creating a large calorie deficit to help you lose that body fat. But it's not only just calorie intake that we're interested in here. As mentioned before, we are focusing on protein. By increasing our protein intake and focusing on protein, not only are we going to be protecting our lean body mass, we're going to be helping our muscles stay healthy and strong. And it's the most satiating macronutrient. So it's going to help you feel full whilst on those lower calories. Fibre also plays a vital role in this by slowing gastric emptying, helping you feel fuller for longer, and aiding in digestion. Something we also do with clients is get them to weigh daily. This helps break down that barrier between you and the scale weight. It also helps to educate you on those fluctuations in the scales. I want to talk to you a little bit about our client Keely. We focused on getting her into a calorie deficit by reducing her calories to a place that got her into a state of low to no hunger. She was getting a high protein diet from sources such as egg whites, Greek yogurt, chicken breasts, prawns, things like that. She was focused on high volume fibrous foods. Again, are not only going to help bowel health, but also keep us full. We also tracked body weight to ensure that she got the benefit of the education around the negative association with scale weight. We also had a client who came to us with a very negative relationship with food. She was a cycle of binging and restricting and not having the full education on how to lose weight properly without going into these cycles. She'd labelled food good and bad. And in our world, nothing is labelled as good and bad. We encourage periods of maintenance and a moderate deficit, and that if you really want to have something, to have it, but to do it with full consciousness. We give our clients full permission to have whatever they want, whenever they want it. But it's about that education around what it's going to do to you, the scales, your mindset, your gut, and how you move forward from it, and how it doesn't have to be a whole spiral. Struggled with this initially, but she's come so far. Not only has she lost a significant amount of weight, she's started to repair her relationship with food and the scales. She gets to enjoy takeaways and nights out without it upsetting her progress. I've shown you what's possible in as little as 6 weeks. Can I show you something that's going to help you get results just like these ladies? This is our one-to-one coaching program designed to get rapid fat loss results for women who want to lose 8 to 20 kilos in the next 2 to 6 months. You don't have time to train 7 times a week. It's done without fasted cardio, weight loss drugs, or any silly shakes or teas. Here's how it works. We get all the relevant information from you from our Q&A form and build a plan that's specific to you and your lifestyle. We'll give you specific macro and calorie targets for all phases. And based on the equipment you have available, you will have access to a training plan that we will build for you to help protect lean body mass and also to start to get you feeling stronger too. It's all loaded into our app where you'll have direct contact with us, support from our other one-to-one clients, and a whole portal of education. If you want to see for yourself how fast, using our proven methods, you could get to your target weight, follow the link in the description below to check out our transformation timeline calculator, where we'll show you rapid fat loss versus a more moderate approach. And we'll see you on the next one.